everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Soup Bowl, where I'm your host, Renee Murdoch, and I am so happy that you are tuning in on today. I'm happy to be doing live with you. I'm happy that you're watching, listening, liking, subscribing, and sharing with others. Hey, we're in the Soup Bowl. Life gets messy when we're leading our own lives. Hey, I'm doing this at night, which is not a norm for me because normally I like to do it in the daytime. So I have got this whole setup thing going on right now, and I actually put another camera on this, so maybe you can see the pimple on my forehead. I don't know, right? Other than the previous camera that likes to go along with the system. So, cousin, you know who you are. Maybe this is better for you. I don't know, and you'll watch longer. Let's see. So what do we want to get into today? Hey, if you have not got Leadership Evolution, go out there on Amazon and go ahead and purchase it. Read it. Meditate on it. Do it. The things that it says that we want to activate you and leading in a more healthier way. And if you're desiring to lead and you have not yet had opportunity, number one, you must start with yourself first. That's what the book is really talking about. You must start here first to be effective and before you start leading others. So, because you want to lead in a healthy way. We have too many leaders out here in these streets that are harming other people because hurt people. And so we want, we want healthy organizations, we want healthy teams, we want healthy people. Because if you're out here harming other people, right now they got to carry that with them to the next place or whatever. Now they got some more baggage they got to unpack. And we don't want to do that. So we want to be healthy. So that's what this book is really about, getting you healthy and leading and transforming your thinking into another way. Everything that you need, seriously, everything that you need to lead effectively is inside of you. You just got to activate it. We just got to resurrect some things from there and change our perspective on how we see things. So again, go out there on Amazon, pick it up. You can also, I'm going to be doing a book signing hopefully very soon, sometime next year in Barnes & Nobles. So be on the lookout for that if you're looking to get your book signed in a word, maybe possibly just for you. So we'll see. So again, you can reach me by info@4mosaic.com. That is info@4mosaic.com. You can hit me up if you're looking for a signed copy, or if you have some suggestions or whatnot, in reference or questions that you want to talk about on our show. All right. Also out there in social media land, I did an interview on Today Is Your Day with Jonathan Davis. He is a business consultant. And so it was a really great interview. We didn't really get into it long, so hopefully I'll be going back on his show again, but just talked a little bit about how I started my journey in entrepreneurship, or how did I even start my business, which is 4Mosaic LLC. And so I talked a little bit about that, a little bit about my background as well. I think I talked a lot about my background, how I got here, and a little bit of my journey and being fired. Right? So who hasn't been fired? I don't know, but I have, and I didn't even do nothing. So I felt like the movie Friday, you know, like you get fired on your day. That's the running joke, right? Between me and Murdoch, like you got fired on your day off, and it's just like, yeah, I did. I actually got fired on my day off. How does that even happen? Hey, you want to know about it? Go to Today Is Your Day show, right, by Jonathan Davis, and you'll get a little taste of what that's about. So I did the Speedy Gonzalez version, right? But you want to shut it up some more, we can do that. But today I want to talk more about building relationships. I think we had another segment in reference to that, but the importance of relationships, because we're just coming out of the holidays, going into the holidays, and there are things that we are doing. People are out there running around, making plans, doing parties, inviting people, not inviting people for whatever reason. And we just need to know what we're doing out here. And when it comes to building relationships, let me tell you something. If you don't know it, I'm about to tell you right now. You are not getting anywhere in life without some type of relationship. Everything that we do is filtered through relationships. Again, if it was not so, then you would be here on the earth by yourself. And you're not. So what does that mean? We were never meant to do life alone. Come on, think about it for a second. What you're doing on your job, you must have some type of relationship, whether it be with your boss, whether it be with your coworkers, whether it be with other entities or whatever, to get your supplies, to get your business going. There is some type of relationship there. If you have children, whether you're married to that person or not, there was some type of relationship there. You have parents, grandparents, godparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers. There is some type of relationship there. And you needed certain things at certain times, right? And so you built on some relationship. You built a relationship. Now, there are healthy relationships and there are not so healthy relationships. And based upon where you're at in your life, you will either draw healthy relationships or draw unhealthy relationships. And what do I mean by that? So, for example, if you have issues, like I had issues with rejection, right? So I didn't like being rejected about anything. I always felt like I was being put off when I was younger, or I was the third child out of four. So I always felt like I wasn't being heard with my other siblings. Sometimes I wasn't even being heard or seen by even my mother at times, because, air quotes, I was the more child that I played my role, right? Everybody has their role that they play. So my role that I played was, be good, because then she won't go off. And she won't, do A, B, and C, and everything's going to be calm, and I can calm her down or whatever. And so be good, be a good daughter, be a good sister. When they're asking you to do something, you can do it. Try to make the best of it. And then, like, if my mother was asking, hey, I'm going here, I need some help. Okay, get up, you got to go, because they're not going to go. Help her find what she needs, volunteer. So that all of that comes from, right, not wanting to be rejected. And then showing other people that, hey, I have value here. And so I need you to recognize that value. And then if you don't recognize that value and you put me out, I feel rejected. Right? So I had to get through that over the course of the year, when I recognized that that was one of my issues. But before I recognized that that was my issue, I would look for other means or types of relationships where I felt that I might have some type of control in it, how that relationship would go. So when it came to intimate relationships, as far as, liking another person and wanting to be with them, I could remember in high school, this is so funny, but I can remember in high school, still remember the person's name, not going to say their name, right? But I still remember the person's name, and he just adored me, right? He adored me. And I liked him as well, right? I liked him as well. And I just felt like he's not really going to like the real me. He's just not. And my home situation, I really don't want him to know about that, because he was, seemed like he was well off, right? And wasn't struggling like I was, and so I was just like, I can't really let him know. It just got to a point where it was like, he's going to find out, right? Like, he's going to find out, because like he's stopping over whatever. And one particular time we had no running water. and no heat. And so it was super cold in the house. And I don't know if I said it or maybe my sister said, like, oh yeah, my mom likes it cold, and whatever. And so, and it was just embarrassing. Let me just put it like that. It was embarrassing at the time, right? And so I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I think he's going to just like reject me. So before he could reject me, I rejected him. I wrote him this note or whatever, and I was like, yeah, it's just, I can't talk to you anymore. It's not you, it's me, right? That's the story. So I'm in the hallway, and I walk past him, I get him the note, boom, there you go. And of course it's just like, why, we need to talk, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, no, because I just can't, I couldn't really tell him the reason why, because all I had was, I didn't have language for it, but then I just knew that he can't find out. I've got to let him go before he lets me go. Like, it's just not going to work. But anyway, so as time went on, right, we moved away, we moved back, we moved away, we moved back, right? So of course he was talking to someone else. And funny thing is, I felt rejected, even in that. Just trying to talk to him and see if he was still interested in me, and he still was, but he was loyal to his other person. Again, felt rejected, right? And so I wouldn't say I took on the first thing, whatever that came, but I did end up in a relationship where I was just kind of like, okay, we'll just do this or whatever, because one, I need rides. I'm homeless. I need rides. And so I'm just going to end up here. And so I did. And that person really wasn't, good for me. They didn't really, the other person like supported me and talked, whatever. And this person didn't. It was just like they was there. So it was like I was using them. I think they were using me too at the same time. And so there's that, right? Wow. So then I get out there in the real world, and I'm in a relationship, right? My first duty station. After I'm there like almost a year, and then I, start talking to this other guy, and I end up being with this individual for 2 years. The funny thing about it is that everyone, I don't want to say everyone, but a couple of people were just like, yeah, no, Renee, you need to leave that alone. Like, this person has issues, that are anger issues. And I was just like, oh no, they don't. No, they don't. And so they would do certain things, right? And I would be like, oh, but I could be there for you, whatever the case may be. And I just would feel rejected in certain things. Like if they didn't call me, right, enough or whatever, or if they didn't tell me, that I was beautiful or whatever, then I'm like, yeah, I feel rejected. So I would go do something else to make me feel like, oh yeah, people see me. I'm being seen. And so I say all that to say that when you are not recognizing the root causes of why you are doing what you're doing, then you can find yourself in unhealthy relationships. But if you know that you're a healthy person, right, and you're coming into contact with someone else, you're able to recognize that, is this relationship good for me, or is this relationship not good for me, right? There are people that will be in your life for the whole duration while you're here on earth. There were people that will be in your life, maybe just in your childhood, in your teenage years, maybe in your college years, right? Or, just getting out of the house, right? And then even in those different segments, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? There's different people that are coming in and out of your life during this time while you're here on earth. And it's important to recognize why they are there, right? And what role that you're playing in that relationship or not. Because some people can come into your life at a later stage and then just be there, and you all become so knitted and so close together, like they say, that's your ride or die. And you just like, wow, great, whatever, right? So I remember I had met a particular person, and I used to really, it was fascinating to me. This is interesting, guys. it was fascinating to me when I would meet people and they would talk about their siblings, like, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Like, oh yeah, I talk to, they're talking to their siblings like daily, right? And I'm like, what? Like, you talk to your sister or your brother daily? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's new to me, What can I say? That just was abnormal, right? When it came to me and my siblings, we did not talk every day. Like it would be something if it was a month, and that was me. This is going right into adulthood. That would be me contacting them not contacting me, right? And so when they wouldn't contact me, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Whatever. Again, feeling rejected. So it's to hear that and to see that, I desired it, right? And then I said, okay, well, how can I get that? Well, I'm going to make myself available. I'm going to let my siblings know, hey, like, I would like to build a relationship with you now that we're adults or whatever. And you do this, right, by talking on a consistent basis, right? And it goes both ways. I can't be the only one calling you all the time, right? And you're not calling me back, right, on a regular basis. Or when you do call me, it's because you need something, right? Or you don't want to call me because something's going on in your life that you don't want me to know about. You might be feeling shameful because you're in a situation or you made a decision and you shouldn't have made the decision. But again, that's not really building a healthy relationship. When it comes to, I guess, your siblings and you're trying to have a close-knit relationship with them, because because I wanted it, right? So I wanted someone to love me for me. I wanted someone to be there for me no matter if I messed up, no matter if I made a decision, you didn't like what I said, you didn't like what I did, but can you love me through that? Can you hold my hand through that? Can we talk through that? Or is it that I did something that you didn't like, I said something that you didn't like, and then after that you're just like, yeah, no, you cut off. Why? Well, I guess because you really didn't like me to begin with. You just wanted me just for whatever I had, I guess. So I desired it, right? I desire to have that type of friendship with my siblings. And I said, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to get it for numerous of reasons. And I'm not going to go into that. So I was like, I guess I'm not going to get it. Okay, so I believe just having that desire, right? And so I would always kind of evaluate. Muscle, you always come when I'm cord. You want to be in the camera. Come on now. So, but I'm looking at relationships, as I go, throughout life, and what those relationships, right, mean. And I'm always saying, okay, is this the person? Right? Is this my ride or die person? Or is this person like for a season? Are they healthy for me? Are they looking for something? Is it something that's just transactional? Right? I'm giving you something. You're wanting something. I'm giving you that, and that's it. You're only coming around, whatever. And I've been in those type of relationships, and those type of relationships is draining. It's draining, right? Like if you're in a relationship and you only hear from this person or see this person when they need something from you, then they're just pulling and constantly drawing from the well, right? It is not healthy, right? Like it should be reciprocated in some way if you're looking for more of an intimate relationship and not transactional. Now don't get me wrong. Again, everything we do is transactional, right? I go to the store, I want an item, I want a thing of sugar, and I go to pay it. There's a person at the cashier, whatever, they're checking me out. This is a transaction that we're making, right? I'm sending, a package somewhere. Like, these are all transactional relationships. Well, I'm talking about that relationship that you're desiring for some type of intimacy, closeness, someone that you can share things with, someone that can uphold you, right? Someone you can laugh with, someone that you can travel with, someone that gets you, right, more than you can get yourself sometimes, right? Like, there's someone that can talk you out of doing some things that's not so smart. And so, you know, I would always say this, right? Like, you either love Renee or you don't love Renee. I say that a lot. You either get me or you don't get me. Or if you want to get to know me, you can, right? But don't take, you know, everything, you know, just always as face value or not. I remember someone, you know, had told me that was like, oh, I know you get down like that. Yeah, I do. I do. But you didn't want to get to know me, right? And so now, you know, so all these years you probably was thinking one thing, right? And then but in terms is, hey, I am friendly. I show myself to be friendly, right? To be a friend. But the other person must show themselves to be friendly as well. So if you're desiring true intimate relationship, right? I'm not just talking about the sexual part of a relationship with, you know, a man, right? With your woman, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just alone having an intimate relationship, the closeness with someone that you can talk to, right, about things, right, that you're looking forward to, you're not looking forward to, someone just to woo-saw with, and, you know, not have to pretend as though everything is okay when it's not okay, or someone to celebrate life with, right? Like, we should all have those type of people that you can be vulnerable with, right? And so you have to recognize who those people are, right? So I remember, like, I had left a particular organization. It was very hard to leave, to be honest with you, because I had invested so much in that organization. And again, I was looking for something in return from that organization that over the course of the years, I just never got, right? And even within that organization, you know, you build certain relationships along the way. And so leaving that organization, you know, I was, you know, torn because, one, I wanted to be in a community. See, I like to do things alone, but I also like to do things as a team as well. So I know when to draw back and when to come in. I need my alone time, right? And then I can come and, you know, be in the mix of things or whatever, but I have to have a balance, right? I just can't be always up in here, and I always can't be back there either by myself in the corner. So I need the balance of it. And I knew that leaving the organization, that there was a high possibility, right, that I would be isolated, right? Meaning, okay, now no one's talking to me anymore, right? And so that is exactly what I experienced. Although I had an ideal that this was happening, I think it's more hurtful when it actually does happen, right? Because you're thinking like, man, okay, yay. You know, maybe people will, you know, some of the people that I'm thinking I'm building a relationship with, that just because I left doesn't mean that our relationship has to end. Well, apparently, I guess some people believe it does, because they really don't understand true friendship, right? Building a relationship that lasts, right? And so when I would see some of these people out there in the streets, and be like, oh my gosh, hi, how are you doing? Oh, I miss you so much, right? And so after a while, I would tell Murdoch, I was like, yeah. No, they don't miss me. I had to realize this, like, they don't miss me. They miss what I did. And I had to be settled in that. because again, it was hurtful at first. But they didn't miss me because you have my number. So you didn't miss me. You know how to reach me, whether it be at social media, whatever, right? So you don't miss me because I'm still reachable, attainable, whatever. You just don't see me, right? And you don't see me doing what I was doing before. And so that's really what you miss. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's just like this since you've been gone. Yeah, you miss what I did. You don't miss me. So I had to get settled in that. So I'm saying recognize your relationships. Evaluate your relationships where they are. And be okay with, hey, this is where this is. Now, if you're wanting more, then say that you want more. Right? Don't have expectations of something that you're not communicating. So to this day, hey, if you can help me out, I greatly appreciate it. But to this day, it's this pocket mirror that at Things to Remember used to sell it. I don't know why they stopped selling it, because I feel like Things to Remember store, right, is supposed to be like timeless pieces. So I don't understand why they discontinued this thing. But anyway, it was a pocket mirror, and it was like a little book, right? So it was really small, like this, whatever, right? But it was a pocket mirror, but it was a book. So like when you opened it up, it had like one page you could flip over. So, but it was, I think it was two, if I remember correctly, it was two mirrors, and then it was two places that you could put a picture. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just love this. I want this. This will be a great gift for me, right? And then of course, things to remember, you can engrave things on and you can personalize things. And so I was like, yes, I want this. So I told the little girl, right? The little girl at the time, I can't remember how old she was. I don't know if she was 5. Muscle, no. So the little girl at the time, I don't know what she was, whatever, right? And I was like, hey, look, tell your dad I want this, right? And so whatever. And I think I said I wanted a pocket mirror or something like that, right? So one of my love languages, the first one is gifts. So I'm really big on gifts. The thing about it is not just any gift. That's just the thing. It's just not any gift. So when I say I am really big on gifts, meaning that I'm really big on personalized gifts, right? And gifts that are sentimental, right? I want that gift to be long lasting. I don't want the gift to be like, oh, hey, I felt like I had to give you a gift, and so I went on and got this, and so boom, here it is. Like, no, I need that gift to be useful. I need to put that gift into use, right? I need that gift to have purpose, right? Like, I really don't like people buying me knickknacks, right? So what is a knickknack? A knickknack is like a figurine or something of that nature that's, you would put on a shelf and display, whatever. I don't really like people buying me those type of things because they usually don't get it right, because they have not really taken the time out to get to know me. And again, those are those expectations of, but I say that. And sometimes people think that it's rude. And I don't think it's rude. I think that I want you to save your money, right? I don't want you to waste your money in purchasing something that I am not going to use. I am not going to take it out the box. I'm just not. It's just, So I prefer you not to do that. And so when people do it, and I am a person that will take a gift back. If I found out what your gift is and it's not useful to me, I'm going to take your gift back. We'll talk more about that maybe in another segment. But so when I buy gifts, I don't buy gifts for just occasions. I buy gifts when a person is placed on my heart, when I see certain things, I'm like, oh, this looks like such and such. And I think this will really, brighten their day just because. That's the type of person I am when it comes to gifts. But anyway, going back to this pocket mirror. One, this pocket mirror, whatever, I did not tell Murdoch personally that I wanted this pocket mirror. Till after that year, I never got it. And then I was like, I want this pocket mirror, right? So I'm telling him I want the pocket mirror now. And he still doesn't get the pocket mirror because I don't know what's going through his head. You're going to have to ask him yourself one day. But something's going through his head and he still doesn't get the pocket. And I was just like, I got fed up. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get the pocket mirror myself. Because I wanted him to get the pocket mirror so he can put some words on there that I would read all the time and be like, oh, wow, great, right? Oh, this is so wonderful for me. And then he just never got it. So guess what? I go to get the pocket mirror. And guess what? They don't make it no more. They don't make it no more, guys. They don't make it no more. So that makes me even more upset. That they don't even make it anymore. And I can't get this pocket mirror for myself. But anyway, that goes just to say that my expectations during that time of him when it comes to gift really wasn't realistic because I didn't really have a conversation with him about when it came to me and gifts. I just was like, if I just keep telling him no, because like even when we was dating and he would buy certain stuff, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not that chick. Like I'm not all about into the Louis Vuitton and all that. I'm just not that chick, right? So like he got me this baseball cap and on the side of it says special lady friend, right? I thought that was so cute. I thought that was just so great, right? And I like that little hat, right? But when you go get me, purses, hello? I don't want that, right? So maybe some other chick might be excited about that. I'm not. So I know you're like, what, Renee? What is wrong with you? Nothing. Like, I don't want you buying me flowers for Mother's Day. Why? Why? Why you can't buy me flowers just because? So if you can't buy me flowers just because, then you can leave them flowers for Mother's Day sitting on the shelf. I don't want them. Anyway, so, okay. All right. I think I got off course there. But the main thing is, right, that if you want long-lasting relationships, you must show yourself to be friendly. You must recognize the relationships that you are in now, what type of relationships they are, where do they stand at. If you don't know, you got to communicate some things with people. And so that's what I need to communicate this with you. I communicated these things with my siblings, right? And the response that I got after I communicated those things is where that stood at. I can't force something to happen. You can't be the other person on the other end trying to make something happen, right? You extend yourself and then that extension doesn't come back, then we're not in this together, right? I'm just in this thing by myself. It's the same thing. If you're in a relationship, you're dating somebody and you're doing all of the extension, right? You're the person that's always, if you're in a long distance relationship, you're the person that's always going to them, right? They're not coming to you. You're the person that's always getting on the plane. You're the person that's always booking everything. You're the person that's making all the plans. You're the person that's making all the dates all the time. You're the person that, like, what? You're in a relationship by yourself. You know that, right? If you don't, now you do. So it's the same thing in just a platonic relationship. If I'm the person that's always making the plans, I'm the person that's always calling you and you're never calling me. I'm the person that's always sharing things that's going on with me, but you're never sharing anything what's going on with you. Your relationship by yourself. I'm telling you something great that's happening with me. You're not celebrating with me. You're in a relationship by yourself. You are. And you got to recognize it now. Right? So it's better that you know now until you just keep going for years and it's not. So I just want to encourage you today, right? Evaluate your relationship, especially as you go into this season and you just out there going crazy in these stores trying to find people gifts. And another thing, who said you got to buy a gift? We're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about that next week about this gift giving, right? People do all kinds of segments and do, blogs and all this type of stuff. But we're going to get real and dirty right here about this gift giving thing, right? for holidays. Okay. I love you guys, right? And there's nothing that you can do about it. Just know that leading is teachable. I love you. Until next time, peace.